Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. We're going to meet the lovely singer Ruchelle Scott in just a moment. But what's the worst excuse you've ever made? We asked this question to people on the streets of London, and here's what they told us.
So, what excuse have you heard or given that you think is probably a little bit lame?
Definitely that I'm washing my hair, because everybody washes their hair in the morning, but you just pretend you wash it in the evening. That's a good excuse, because people think it takes hours, but really it's a 5-minute process.
Someone at my work gave a really lame excuse for being late. He made out that someone was going through his bins and trying to steal his shoes.
Now, I normally say my roof's leaking. This is not good.
If I need to diet for a fight, I always tell myself tomorrow I'll start it.
Just stupid ones like, oh, I can't do this because I'm tired, or I can't do this because... Yeah, it's just
bailing on friends. I think is a bad excuse. If you know something's been planned,
go ahead and do it.
Yeah. Going shopping that you really deserved it, even though you know you're in your overdraft. Be like, this will make my life so much better. You deserve this.
If I cannot be bothered to go to the gym, I would say, oh, I'll go tomorrow because it's just so hot today. I make any excuse not to go to the gym.
If you're a big girl and you need to get out of it, send a text message on the sly, like call me, answer the phone like, oh, yeah, really? All right, I'll come in now. You act like they're in trouble, you have to go out and help your friend.
Do you think a lot of guys do that?
Oh yeah, it's a classic.
Okay, there's a few excuses there, and I'd like to now introduce Ruchelle to everyone. Hello, Ruchelle.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm not going to ask you the worst excuses you've made because that's putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
I won't ask you. But let's get straight into your singing. So when did you realise you wanted to sing?
I've always loved singing, but it was probably when I was in a gospel choir in year 7, so I was about 11 or 12. That was a really cool experience because we got to perform at the Royal Albert Hall.
Oh, lovely.
And the adrenaline rush, it was just crazy. So yeah, since then.
Yeah, okay. And then how did you actually get into it and start doing your own stuff?
Well, I used to be in a girl group when I was at school because I was too shy to sing alone. And then we did a few like competitions. We did like Broken Silence, and then we met a producer. That was our first time ever in a studio working with a producer. And then since then it kind of progressed. I went to music college and yeah.
But now you're going it alone. How does that feel though compared? Because obviously, how did you get over that shyness?
Well, I just threw myself in the deep end, to be honest. When I was 16, I would go to open mic nights and I'd be completely nervous. My mum would drive me and I'd make her sit outside. She wouldn't even come inside of the building. So
You didn't want her there because you were nervous? Or
no, yeah, because I'd never sung in front of her at that point. So I was like, promise that you're not going to come inside. And I just threw myself in. I was like, I have to get over it.
Yeah, and how's it been going since you've been?
Yeah, it's fine. The more I do it, I'm totally fine performing now. So yeah, I love it.
Okay, what's the next step for you, would you say?
Well, at the moment I'm doing an EP, so I'm just looking to put more projects out there because this is the first official project that I've actually done.
Yeah.
Just the more projects, the more people know me, and just to try and get my name out there.
Is it hard? Is it hard to do what you do?
It is. Meeting people isn't too difficult once you do shows and you kind of get chatting to everyone. That's kind of how it happens. It's like a chain reaction. You meet this person, they introduce you to that person. Right. But it's just persistence, like what we heard earlier.
That's powerful stuff, wasn't it?
Pushing on, yeah.
And never give up.
Never give up.
Never, okay. Now tell us what you'll be singing for us later.
It's my debut from my upcoming EP. It's called Ain't Got the Time.
Okay, is it based on personal experience or?
It's not. I mean, I have like a wild imagination, so I'm good at like creating scenarios and stories in my head.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily linked to my own life or friends maybe going through stuff. So.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for talking to me, Ruchelle. We're going to be back in just a minute. You're going to go off and get ready, and then we'll be hearing your lovely voice.
Okay.
Okay. All right then. So just before we go back to Ruchelle with her song, I'd like to answer this question from a viewer. Now this one's from Natalie, and she says, I'm so lonely, I feel like giving up. My marriage broke down in 2008, and since then, life has been really hard. I don't see my friends anymore as most of them are married, and those that are not seem to have men falling at their feet. which makes me feel like a spare part. I'm sure it's not like that, Natalie, 'cause sometimes things seem worse than what they are. So Natalie's asking, what would I do in her situation? Now, Natalie, from the little that you've actually written, it really seems like your self-esteem has taken a knock when your marriage broke down. And because you said that since then life's been really bad. But this all happened 6 years ago. So I really think it's time that you started, you start moving on. Now, breakups are really hard, but they don't need to be the end of the world for anyone. Just take some lessons from what you went through. People sometimes look at the past and they beat themselves up about what happened and they regret everything that happened, but you have to learn from those mistakes. Don't see it as something that's, it's going to end your life. Just learn from what's happened. Don't make the same mistakes on your part. Obviously, you can't do anything about the mistakes of your partner. Now, another thing that I've noticed, like you've shut yourself away from everyone, and that's a big mistake. You need to, even though you don't feel at the moment to be going out there and meeting people and stuff like that, but at least try and join some kind of group, start a hobby where you're mixing with other people. Just take it step by step so that you're not all on your own, because when someone isolates themselves, they do feel much, much worse. You really need to sort of get out there, talking to people, liaising with people. You can try that in your workplace as well, chat more to people. Don't isolate yourself away, because there's plenty of people that have been through similar things to you, and they've overcome it. They've gone on and met someone else. They're happy with their lives. They get into their career. So don't think it's the end of the world because you've had this breakup. Lots of people have been through it and they've come out on the other side, so you can as well. What I would advise you, because you do mention that you feel like giving up, I really would advise you to get some kind of counselling, because this is something serious that you're feeling, and obviously you don't want it to get worse because you could fall into depression. So make sure you do speak to your GP, get some counselling if you need to, and I'm sure things will turn out well for you. Just don't give up, as you've heard on this show today. And actually that goes for everyone that's watching. Sometimes things happen that can really, really knock the wind out of us, but you're much stronger than what you think you are, and you can recover with the right help and guidance. Just don't give up. Things might seem really bad right now, but there's always hope of a brighter future. So now we're going to go over to Ruchelle with Ain't Got the Time.
Push me away. and I